Tommy Lloyd right now is the best coach in college basketball. RC, true, false, a little bit too hot, or just kind of the right kind of spice?
No, I will say this. I don't know if I can argue against that. I think, you said losing the talent that he's lost, and that team seems not to change, not to lose a beat, is impressive. And that's what you judge a lot of coaches off of. But there's so many great coaches out there, man. And I'll say this: if we were picking, and we talked about picking maybe coaches of the year so far, I don't know if anybody was going to pick him, but I am impressed with his recruiting and his coaching. I think he adjusts instead of having just one way to play. I just seems as though right now, early in his coaching career, he's recruiting to the style of play that he wants to play, and I can't argue it one way or the other. I couldn't argue if you would have said that though.
Yeah. Hey, John, do you see what he did there? You see how he navigated that without picking a side?
I'll say this. I'll say no. Could I name 5 coaches? Yes. But I'll say this: would I name 5? Would he be in my top 5? I'd say yes, because I'm not going to pick him off just last year. I won't argue it, but if you tell me to pick 5, I could probably pick 5 other guys. I'd say that.
So I agree with you. Great coach. Okay, best coach in the country, arguably. But there's a guy named Rick Pitino still coaching, and
Stop it.
Let's talk. I mean, we talking numbers or we just talking names? Like, I mean, what is
Stop it? I ain't giving you tricky Rick.
Yeah, like, come on,
hey.
Rick Pitino. Like, I mean, he's an Iona now, but if Pitino was still somewhere, I mean, he'd be in the conversation. He just would. If he was somewhere, still Louisville, wherever he would be at. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Tommy Lloyd though, but
hey, just wait till he's coming back to Louisville, John. Just wait till he comes back to Louisville.
Right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can spin the block.
I knew it was coming.
You know what I mean? So, like,
nah, he's an all-timer, man. He's a Hall of Famer. No,
he's an all-timer, so he's still coaching. I'm just saying, he's still on the sidelines. We got, so that's my hot take of the day. You know what I mean?
So here's what there's 2 things that really impressed me about Tommy. Is the first one is you lose Ben Mathurin, you lose Dalen Terry, you lose Christian Coloco, and there's absolutely no drop off on your team at all. I think that's really impressive. 2, I don't know how many coaches can play 2 bigs that are complete non-threats from beyond the arc. Azuolas Tubelis and Umar Ballo just they're not bad shooters. They're non-shooters. They don't shoot threes. They're not even a threat out there. And he's managed to make them the #1 offense in college basketball, according to KenPom. They are the best offensive team in the country, and they do it with 2 guys where you look at them and you say, you got 2 bigs that can't shoot. There's no way that you can run efficient offense in modern basketball, John. To me, that is what's so impressive about them.
And I think the biggest thing for them is they complement each other. I think that's why they're so good. Even when I was in school, me and Z were 2 bigs, but we just complimented each other. I didn't really like to score like that. I looked to score, but I wasn't. Z wanted to score. I had length. Z had, Z had size. So, like, I think they complement each other in a way that helps them. And there's going to be a game where someone's going to have to sit, depending on the flow of it. But fails to be seen right now. So they're rolling. I love what they're doing over there. Arizona's always a kind of a sneaky good team throughout the year, and then and when March comes, they kind of announce themselves to the world. So they got a few big games coming up, and even on another note, like, all these teams playing each other, I can't keep up, man. Like, I don't know if this is the new norm with all these big time schools just kind of going head to head, but I love it.
That's only with some schools.
Can they win a title?
Still ducking work. I don't know. You know what? Again, the question becomes: I worry about them defensively with the Zulus. I wonder, and putting him at. Again, when you're at that big, when you're big, can that 4-man switch and can he guard? And I'm not. That's the difference. He's going to have to guard when you're playing that small ball. And the other question is he dynamic enough offensively to punish that smaller guy? I mean, you can win that way, but that matchup becomes the critical matchup of the entire game, of the entire situation. How does that big 4 match up with that small ball 4? Can he punish him inside and play great enough offensively? Because that's some of the things we talk about with these big centers. If you got a traditional big, he better be damn good offensively, because if not, you just sitting back and drop coverage and trying to keep everything in front. He better be able to dominate the game a la Hunter Dickinson and some of these other guys. If not,
right.
The rotations that they put you in defensively is tough with 1 big if you can't do it. And if you got 2, you better be dominant in the paint. You better control the pace, and they still have to be willing to guard.
Right.
But you're going to have some limitations with that. So again, and we'll see, and you'll be exposed when it come tournament time. I mean, we'll see in the tournament, but we'll see in some of these other matchups. I don't know about the Tennessee and Arizona matchup because it's big on big. But when you start playing some of the small ball things, that you put a lot of pressure on a lot of other guys, to have to guard.
Yeah. So Tubelis and Ballo combined this season are averaging 39 points, 19 boards, 3 blocks, and they're shooting combined a very nice 69% from the floor. So the issue with me, you're right about the defense. Yeah, it's nice, right, John? Not bad.
You do. I mean, if they're playing like that, I don't care who you got out there. They're gonna be a good team. So it'll be interesting to see down the stretch, man, what happens, like you said, when they small ball, or when teams start to kind of figure them out, or when if they lose a game or two, where teams look at that film and say, okay, where can I exploit them at? So